Nowadays, martial arts gets a bad rap. Since MMA came into existence, many of these traditional martial arts are widely mocked and ridiculed by people. Many are called useless in actual combat, and just showy demonstrations done in controlled environments that don't simulate real fight scenarios.
How dare you!
We just play with his body, tensions down there, and relax and release.
Play with his body.
I wasn't aware of this, because I'm a knob, but martial arts comes in both an internal and external form. I never really truly understood all the inner chi bullshit, so I wasn't truly utilising all of my abilities. Luckily for me, a bunch of blokes, many of which have an Aussie accent.
You can do bad kung fu and it's going to work.
3. See, he knows it's coming, but it's very hard to stop.
Got together to teach traditional Chinese martial arts. Because if there's one thing Aussies are known for, it's traditional Chinese martial arts.
But mate, all I had was me jocks on. I was chasing him up the street and I'm just like, mate, like...
They all gathered for the martial camp, a place organised and run by another friend of ours, the other balding Aussie who likes to be inside of people.
Now I've filled you up, you become part of me. You're just part of me now. You're part of me now.
And it's held here in the birth of Muay Thai, Thailand. So instead of going to Muay Thai classes, they all chose this shit instead.
So touch, see, boom. Now I have him, right?
What I didn't realise is how raunchy, kinky and rough and tumble this whole camp actually was. Kinda reminds me of the band camp from American Pie.
Oh, and this one time, at band camp, I stuck a flute in my pussy.
Then touch, we touch.
Bend,
We feel the amount of release I have.
leakage.
I shoot down, right? So it's very gentle.
Then touch his body.
Starting off with coach Marky Raz, a practitioner of some touchy-feely energy shit that involves chi and some other magnetic stuff. Sifu Marky R is still doing his thing, with his most recent video teaching you how to manhandle an Indian bloke who's happy to play along with your bullshit. Or electromagnetic something or other. Whatever. Chi and stuff.
Then we add electric and magnetic into it. So he pushes in, I keep those tensions there, then I put sung into it. Now I can turn with the waist.
I was honestly more mesmerised by the guy in the background fishing with the jacked back muscles. I mean, seriously, the guy's a boulder attached to his back. Anyway, Marky R is all about the sensuality of the internal martial arts. There's a lot of touching involved.
We touch, we feel, I touch, then touch, and if we touch our training partner, presses in, it stays inside him. If I touch my
Cock! Cock! Cock!
And it looks like we've found our resident flailing fool, Australia's own Paulie.
Thank you very much, Paul.
I love how he takes a moment to check in on Paulie to make sure all the fake electrocutions aren't taking their toll.
How you coping? Okay.
Now I'd like to make a few notes about Sifu Marky Raz. Firstly, he's a big bloke. I mean, he's got to be at least 6'2", 6'3", so he's in Sensei Seagal territory of vertical magnificence.
I don't like to really talk too much about myself, but...
While we're frozen here, let's just have a quick look at the participants. I mean, never judge a book by its cover, but here we have the in-house IT bloke, the grade 2 English teacher, a fellow who probably owns a Persian bakery, some dude who looks like he goes to Disneyland alone, mid-level management guy checking his OnlyFans subscription, and some random chick that's talking to a big islander bloke who should be able to ragdoll every single one of these people on his own.
He ran across the kitchen, there we go! And on the single leg, trying to fight, picking one guy up, slams him down, and
My point is that I very rarely see any individuals that look like they participate in any sport, let alone actual combat sports or fight training, coming to these seminars to broaden their horizons. Am I right, lads?
Oh, yes. We just play with his body.
Things take a bit of a turn for the worse when Sifu Razzie starts trying to get everyone out because he's in a hurry to spend your money, suckers.
Here we go, now you like it. Yeah. So I gotta stay over there. And I just have to get past you.
Marky Raz does exhibit a little bit of Seagal vibes as he persistently harasses that same lady. But ultimately, Razzie finishes his message on a sexy, sensual note. He explains his phenomenal control of his jizz.
So as I touch my dick. The amount of release I have, where do I want it to go?
And
How he can splooge on you in multiple scientific ways.
I can send it as a wave, or I can send it as a field. The amount of release I have,
But say what you will about whatever the hell this thing is, it comes from a place of love. Disturbing love, but love nonetheless.
I want to feel as much of his body as I can.
what?
Moving on from the love doctor, we'll take a brief stop and see how Richie Huang is doing.
Anybody seen Richie? Huh?
Yes, Sensei, I've seen the Asian Richie. He's at this bizarre sex camp.
Chi power. Chi power is gently.
Dickie Huang is the master of crane style and pushing people using chi and stuff,
Plus,
laughing like a psychopath. Perhaps I'm a moron, but a lot of this just looks like using increased power when it's time to demonstrate, and leveraging and body positioning.
Okay, here. Right? I can use this one.
But again, I'm just a logical moron. I couldn't grasp the mystical powers of these blokes.
I want to feel as much of his body as I can.
Now here is where my problem lies with these things. Hung Dicky here pretends that it is his magical chi that is the reason why he can now move this man's arms. Well, Dicky, I put it to you that the first time you were pushing against him, and the second time you were pushing downwards in a different direction. Not the same thing.
Plus one arm more. Right? This is impossible. Right? Impossible. Same thing.
But to the untrained moron who paid to be at this seminar, they look at Dicky and think,
Jesus Christ. That's Jason Bourne.
like this shit.
Are you ready? Yeah. Are you ready?
I understand why Dicky is laughing. He's getting paid for this. Nobody really understands what he's doing there by pushing down and not against the force.
Are you ready?
His trusted little assistants do that thing where they all play along because they're being paid. Or he's shagging their mother. Or them. Whatever. But he has so much chi in his body that nobody can fuck with him at any point. Dicky doesn't even attack the physical body. He attacks the chakra. Kinda like that Doctor Strange move that they do.
Yeah, because the physical body I cannot do. You cannot do. Okay, I should chi. Chakra, go.
Razzie was all about love, and Dicky was all about strength and being grounded. But old Yapbo Hyung is the master of the 5 ancestor fists. Another version of this chi bullshit.
Learn how to absorb the energy, right? How to song the knee by doing the rocking with this feet.
Now this is my style of dude. Low energy. Minimal effort but maximum results. And strings. He keeps mentioning strings. Strings.
Strings, back string, strings. Back string, front string, strings, right? Strings and back string, front string.
I want to feel as much of his body as I can.
Now it becomes clear why this seedy old bloke is here. Other than harping on about water and flowing, he's here to touch up some ladies and get away with it. Genius.
The energy travels along this channel here, back string, down here.
Ah yes, the old mystical chi power of force, body positioning, and a willing moron as an assistant.
And I point my fingers towards my ankle bone here, right? Now, see, go, hum. There. He goes, right? So, see, boom. See? You see his feet comes off the ground. He's 80 kilos, by the way, okay?
Yeah, I'm sure it was whatever you did that made him jump, not the instructions he was giving to sell all your mystical bullshit.
Back string, front string, and back string, front string. Now I have him, right?
Yap finishes strong and starts bragging to the audience that he knows how to bang.
I make sure I root.
We haven't quite finished yet, but I can already safely say that these people have definitely received value from their investment. I know I have.
We just play with his body. I want to feel as much of his body as I can.
Richie!
Now our last master for this awesome camp is going to be H.H. Wang. Huge Hung Wang. Horse Hose Wang. Wangy.
You try to restore the fascia's energetic conductivity.
He's a master of prana dynamics. and looks a little bit like a Chinese Drew Carey. And he really loves releasing his mind, which might be a euphemism for something else. I'll let you decide.
Now release your mind. Now I release my mind to you. Now I release my mind. My mind is in you. Release your mind. My mind is on him. Now my mind is in him. Touch me. Yes. Understand?
Here's another expert at saying a bunch of shit that means absolutely nothing in reality and being inside of people. They all like being inside of people or touching people.
See, I'm not fighting you. I'm just in you. Push. I'm in you. Push. Touch me. Yes.
Internal martial arts. It all makes sense now.
I want to feel as much of his body as I can.
Touch me. Yes.
He might be inside this bloke, but the reason he can't push him is because of the way he has positioned his body.
I'm in you. Push.
Were this bloke to just pull instead of pushing, old Wangy here would go flopping around like, well, a wang.
So this is what the routine is about.
Wangy and his magical chi can even convince obvious lesbians to switch teams back to the bat and balls.
It was, I've never felt anything like that before.
One thing that is common across the board is the token schmuck they all have. I mentioned Paulie earlier. Each one of them has their own, but I'm happy to say that Bushido is hitting diversity targets with its racial spread. Legends.
Touch me. Yes.
The Wangster, like many of these internal martial arts blokes, wants to give across his seed, his power, his love.
And from my heart, it's like a precious gift.
Whilst his employer rambles on about a bunch of nonsense, Hardeep here starts contemplating his life choices and how he ended up as a show monkey for a Chinese hobbit. Like all of these masters, things start turning a little erotic and aggressive and starts demanding certain things from the participants.
Touch. Mind on you. Touch me. Yes.
Turns out the name Wang isn't by accident, as he decides to visually and audibly explain how he got that name. Just give out the love, people.
This is bigger than you. I just turn. Okay? Yeah. Give your mind to him. Intent from the heart. Take it.
Now I'm not here to shit on Wangy, or Razzie, Dicky, or Yappy. This is all just for a bit of fun. I have no problem with people studying internal martial arts and chi energy phenomenon. But if this stuff is being sold as a way of dealing with people who might attack you or wish to do you harm, then I'm sorry. Touch, magnetic energies, strings, minds, and whatever other buzzwords these cocksuckers use are not going to help you. If you want to achieve some level of spiritual enlightenment, and this chi stuff helps, awesome. You see, unlike Wing Chun or Kung Fu or actual martial arts, which can have a use if applied with modern fighting styles, this shit has no use at all in helping you survive in a real world situation. The fact that these blokes are all pretending that this can be somehow useful in disabling attackers, I mean, come on, you're telling me this woman is suddenly going to engage her chi and stop a mugger, or some 200-pound bloke trying to harm her, just because some skinny Asian fella who looks like he buys used panties told her it works.
I want to feel as much of his body as I can.
Touch me. Yes.
Back string, strings. Back string, front string.
We just play with his body.
I noticed that in these seminars there is usually one lackey for every public attendee to help sell the bullshit. They're pretty easy to spot. They usually go along with the scam wholeheartedly, or they're just complete morons. Again, if this is being sold as some alternative internal form of martial arts to defend yourself, that's complete horseshit. You want to flop around with a bunch of other adults who clearly lack common sense and rationality? Have at it. It's a free world. Which is a beautiful thing for me because it means people attend conferences like this and eat this shit up with a spoon. Thanks, legends.
Stays inside him. If I touch, the amount of release I have.
Touch. Mind on you. Touch me. Yes. And from my heart, it's like a precious gift.
Alright, my friends, who was your favourite master today? Was it Razzie, Dicky, Yappy, or Wangy? Let me know in the comments which Sifu you would happily train with. Thanks for riding along with me today on this video. If you had a bit of fun, think about liking and subscribing. Seagalism is not just the hottest cult of the modern era, but it's a community of like-minded legends who like to have a bit of fun, escape the bullshit of the world, and bask in the glory that is the Great One. If you'd like to support the channel and the growing movement, think about joining the Patreon group of Hard to Kill Badasses. If you're a fan of the hottest fashions, check out the merch store full of awesome Bushido apparel. I truly appreciate all of your love and support, my friends. Until next time, Be careful when touching or engaging your strings. Don't release your mind to strangers, but above all, stay awesome. Peace, legends.
Sunshine bright in the sky, and I'm free when I close my eyes. Help me wash away my sorrow.